Just like people that have a job go to work in the morning, that is the same way you should devote your daytime to job applications. In my last video, I made a video answering the question of how to become a licensed teacher in Canada. In today's video, I'll be answering this comment, which is how to get an entry job in Canada. So if you have not watched my previous video, I would advise you to go and watch it right now. I'll put the link in the description box down below. In the video, I explained how you can become a licensed teacher in Canada, because that is the first step to get an entry-level teaching job in Canada. Now, the first thing you would have to do to get a job as a teacher from within or outside Canada would be to get your teaching license. Once that is out of the way, you need to make sure that you have an experience, because to be honest, Canada likes experienced people. So if you've had no teaching experience, I would say as you're gathering your document and getting ready to apply, go ahead and start volunteering as a teacher in a school. So if you're within Canada, you can start by volunteering as an EA, which is an education assistant, or a teacher assistant. If you're outside Canada, it's easier. If you're back home in Nigeria, you can volunteer in a private school or even in a public school as a teacher. So gather all the experience that you need, because it's very important when it comes to Canada and getting a job. Now, after you've ticked off all these two boxes, go ahead and prepare a concise and straight to the point CV and cover letter. Okay, so your cover letter is where you sell your experience and market yourself. So do well to do a lot of hard work there. Try as much as you can to sell yourself and capture all your experiences, because this is what the recruiters would see, and then that is the first contact they'll be having with you. Do the hard work. If you have to go on Google and research or watch YouTube videos, don't do a shallow work. Do lots of research and get yourself the best cover letter and CV. Now, after you have that out of the way, the next thing you have to do is to start shooting your shot. Indeed is an awesome platform for jobs. I would say this again. There's a demand for teachers in Canada. So if you go on Indeed, you would see lots and lots of teaching adverts pop up. So begin to make your applications, or any other sites, some people use ZipRecruiter. There are so many sites, but Indeed is always the go-to. And yeah, when I was job hunting, Indeed was where I would go to apply for jobs. Now, after you've applied on Indeed or any other job sites, you can also go ahead and apply directly to the schools. I feel strongly that schools prioritize people that come to apply to them directly through the school website. So it's as easy as making a concise list of the schools you're interested in and then going straight to their website, checking if they have their job adverts on their website, and directly applying to those schools. At this point, I would say do not be discouraged when you start applying. You would apply to tons and tons of adverts. And let me say this, just like people that have a job go to work in the morning, and people that work from home remotely set up their computers to start working in the morning, that is the same way you should devote your daytime to job applications. So as people are going to work and setting up their computers, set up your own computers and start job hunting. That is your job until you get a job. So don't be discouraged. You can apply to up to 50 jobs in a day, and that's not too much. You can apply to more than that or less than that. That's not too much or too little. So start applying. Do not stop until you start getting interviews. And even when you start getting interviews, do not stop until you land yourself your desired job offer. Now, when you get an interview, do well to prepare well for your interview. You can go ahead to make your research and find out what it takes to be a teacher in Canada and what they are looking out for in teachers. It might be a little bit different from where you're coming from. So you want to make that research, watch videos, get prepared for your interview. Your interview is an opportunity for you to sell yourself, and you must do that perfectly well. Okay, I've attended different interviews since moving to Canada. I've attended interviews outside the teaching career, and I've attended interviews in the teaching career. And one thing I would say is that the teaching career is a little bit like the teaching interviews that I had to attend. It's a little bit intense because it's not one person interviewing you. It's usually like a group of people, at least 2 people interviewing you. So you can imagine how it feels to be seated, being interviewed, and you're not prepared. And, a bunch of people are just throwing questions at you. You don't want that. You want to be very prepared. Watch videos, read books. YouTube is a very good, place to research and get lots of resources on how to prepare for an interview. And you can, even narrow your search down to how to prepare for an elementary teacher interview or a high school teacher interview, or questions to expect as an elementary teacher, as someone going for an elementary teacher interview or a high school interview. And you find lots and lots of videos. One thing you don't want to ever do is go for an interview unprepared. So the hard work you put in to get this interview. Now you have landed this interview. You don't want to play around with it. You want to take it seriously and go and ace the interview and land yourself a job offer. So do the hard work, do the research that you need to, and go get that job offer. In my other video, I had talked about express entry. Now, this is for people that are applying from outside Canada. So if you're applying for outside Canada, I would say this again. Go ahead, or if you're looking to become a teacher from outside Canada, go ahead and enter the express entry pool. There is an amazing opportunity for teachers right now. So the Canada government has declared teaching career as one of the jobs in demand in Canada. You need to be on the express entry pool to be able to benefit from this wonderful opportunity. So if you have not heard of this before, or you don't even know what I'm talking about, watch my previous video, and you can even go on YouTube and make a research about it, and you have all the detailed information that you need about that. Now, another way you can get a teaching job from outside Canada is the Provincial nomination programs. Provinces offer programs that attract skilled workers, including teachers. So it's as simple as visiting the province website. Here in Canada, every province have a website. So just go on Google and type in Ontario's website, Alberta's website, Manitoba website, Saskatchewan website, or whatever province of your interest. Sometimes they post jobs that may interest you. Okay, so you go ahead, go to their website and see if you find something that will be beneficial to you as a teacher. You're going to look out for provincial job and learn about the specific requirements that they need and see if you're qualified to apply. And at this point, I would like to round off by emphasizing that experience is a big deal here. So you can go ahead while you're getting ready and believing God for a job to start gathering your experience if you've never thought before and you don't have a teaching experience. Good thing if you're from Nigeria, every Nigeria has an experience after school, a teaching, at least a 1-year teaching experience. So if you've done your NYSC, that counts. That's a teaching experience because that means you've taught for a full year. If you taught during your NYSC, which is what most people do, then that would be like a valid teaching experience. But if you don't have any teaching experience, instead of just sitting down and waiting, start gathering your experiences. And above all, I would also say I believe in miracles, and I believe that God can break protocols for people's sake. So in as much as you're doing your best and positioning yourself there to be employed, do not focus on your skills and your application or depend on them. Depend on God like you have a very weak application or you have no experience, and pray about it. And I believe that God will come through for you. I believe that God breaks protocols for people that believe. So this whole process of becoming a teacher in Canada looks rigorous and looks complex and all of that, but just do your best, take it one step at a time and pray about it, and God will definitely land you a job offer. So thank you guys for watching me. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. If you have any questions for me, my email is always in the description box. My Instagram link is in the description box. Follow me on Instagram, send me a DM, or even email me, and I'll be willing to respond when I am free. So I'll see you guys in my next one. Till then, bye.